You've been told a lie so often that it feels like common sense. Chase what you want. Chase success. Chase attention. Chase love. Chase respect. Chase opportunity. Run faster. Try harder. Push more. Prove yourself. And yet the more you chase, the more everything seems to slip further away. The promotion goes to someone else. Music. The person you want loses interest. The audience you try to impress, music, ignores you. The room you try to dominate barely notices you. Meanwhile, someone else walks in and everything bends toward them. They aren't louder than you. Music. They aren't trying harder than you. Sometimes they barely speak at all, but people watch them. People move for them. Opportunities appear around them like gravity is pulling the world in their direction. It feels mysterious, almost unfair. But centuries ago, Niccolo Machiavelli observed, something most people never understand music about human nature. Power is never chased. Power is recognized. Music and recognition does not come from pursuit. It comes from command. The moment you begin chasing something, you place yourself beneath it. Think about that carefully. The moment you chase respect, music, you are announcing that respect does not belong to you. The moment you chase approval, music, you admit that approval lives outside of you. The moment you chase someone's attention, you silently tell them they are the prize and you are the applicant. Human beings are extremely sensitive to this invisible hierarchy. We feel it instantly, not through logic, but through instinct. When someone chases us, our mind automatically places them below us in value. When someone commands their own space without chasing anything, something in us becomes curious, then intrigued, then drawn. This is the law of irresistible attraction. Machiavelli understood it long before modern psychology could explain it. In the courts of Renaissance Italy, princes did not gain power by begging for loyalty. They gained it by making loyalty feel like a privilege. The difference is subtle, but it changes everything. A weak ruler tries to convince people to follow him. A powerful ruler behaves as if following him is the obvious choice. One asks for recognition, the other assumes it. An assumption is contagious because human beings constantly search for signals of status. We look for them unconsciously. The way someone speaks, the way they hold silence, the way they react to pressure, the way they move when attention enters the room. The desperate person tightens. They over-explain. They rush to prove their worth. They fill every silence with nervous energy. But the commanding individual does something different. They create space. They do not chase attention. They allow attention to arrive. This difference alone separates the forgettable from the magnetic. Machiavelli wrote about rulers who tried to be loved by everyone. They chased popularity. They tried to please every faction. But those rulers often lost everything. Why? Because chasing love weakens authority. When a leader needs approval, people begin to sense it. And once that scent appears, respect begins to evaporate. It is not cruelty that makes a leader powerful. It is independence. Independence from approval. Independence from validation. Independence from the constant urge to prove themselves. This is where most people sabotage their own power. They believe attraction is created by effort, by trying harder, by showing more, by explaining more, by giving more. But effort is not what creates gravity. Value creates gravity. And value behaves very differently from effort. Effort pushes outward. Value pulls inward. When you chase, you are pushing your energy outward towards something you believe is above you. But when you command, something strange happens. You stop pushing and suddenly the world begins moving toward you. Before we continue, if you are finding truth in this so far, I'd appreciate a like. And if you want to hear from me again, make sure you're subscribed. Now, think about the most magnetic person you have ever met. They probably didn't talk the most. They probably didn't try the hardest. In fact, they often appeared calm to the point of indifference. Music. But that calm wasn't emptiness. It was certainty. Certainty that they did not need to chase anyone's attention. Certainty that they did not need to prove their value every 5 minutes. Certainty that their presence alone carried weight. Music. This is the invisible foundation of command. And Machiavelli believed that appearances create reality in the political world. Not because truth doesn't matter, but because perception decides how people respond. A ruler who looks powerful becomes powerful because people treat them as powerful. A ruler who looks desperate becomes weak because people begin testing them. The same principle governs everyday life. The moment you appear desperate for attention, people begin withholding it. The moment you appear desperate for approval, people begin questioning your worth. But when someone appears self-contained, something inside us becomes alert. We begin wondering, why are they so calm? Why are they not trying to impress anyone? What do they know that everyone else doesn't? Curiosity is the first step of attraction, and curiosity only appears when something feels slightly out of reach. This is why the people who chase the hardest often end up with the least influence. They make themselves too available, too predictable, too eager. There is no mystery left, and without mystery, attention dies. Machiavelli understood the strategic value of distance. He advised rulers not to be overly accessible, not to dissolve themselves into the crowd, not to let familiarity erode authority. Because when people feel they fully possess you, they stop valuing you. Scarcity sharpens attention. Distance creates intrigue. Restraint multiplies presence. These principles sound simple, but they are extremely difficult for most people to apply. Because chasing feels active, commanding feels passive, and human beings are addicted to activity. When we want something, our instinct is to push harder, to send another message, to explain ourselves again, offer more proof, reveal more of our effort. But every time we do this, we quietly lower our position. Power does not grow through exposure. It grows through selective visibility. The most commanding individuals reveal themselves carefully. They speak when necessary. They withdraw when appropriate. They allow silence to exist without rushing to fill it. And silence, when used correctly, becomes a signal of confidence. Think about a negotiation. One person talks endlessly, trying to justify their value, explain their position, convince the other side. The other person listens, calm, still, occasionally asking a short question. Who appears more powerful in that moment? It is almost always the one who speaks less, because restraint signals control, and control signals authority. Machiavelli observed that rulers who acted impulsively revealed their weaknesses. Their emotions became visible. Their fears became predictable. But rulers who maintained composure created uncertainty. And uncertainty creates psychological advantage. Because when people cannot fully read you, they begin projecting value onto you. They assume you know something they do not. They assume your silence contains strategy. They assume your restraint hides strength. This is the beginning of commanding presence. Not by shouting louder, not by chasing harder, but by becoming a figure that people cannot easily categorize. You become still where others rush, measured where others panic, reserved where others overshare, and slowly the dynamic begins to reverse. Instead of chasing opportunities, opportunities begin orbiting you. Instead of asking for attention, attention begins searching for you. Instead of competing for recognition, recognition begins forming around your presence. But this transformation requires something most people resist. Music. You must let go of the need to be liked by everyone because commanding presence always creates a division. Some people will be drawn toward it. Others will feel threatened by it. Machiavelli warned rulers about this exact tension. He wrote that attempting to satisfy everyone makes a leader weak because different groups demand opposite things. If you bend to all of them, you stand for nothing. But when a leader establishes clear authority, something surprising happens. Even those who disagree begin respecting the consistency. And respect is far more durable than approval. Approval changes with moods. Respect grows from structure, from boundaries, from the sense that a person cannot be easily moved by pressure. This is why the most magnetic individuals are rarely the most accommodating. They are not rude, they are not cruel, but they are not endlessly available either. Their attention has weight, their time has boundaries, their presence has limits. And those limits create value. The moment someone realizes they cannot fully possess your attention becomes more valuable. The moment someone realizes you are not chasing their approval, your approval becomes more meaningful. This is the paradox of attraction. The less you chase it, the stronger it becomes. But the moment you start pursuing it desperately, it disappears. Machiavelli saw this pattern in politics, music, but it exists everywhere. In leadership, in social dynamics, in influence, in desire. Power does not belong to the person who runs the fastest. It belongs to the person who stands still long enough for the world to notice their gravity. And once you understand this law, you begin seeing it everywhere. You notice how certain people never rush to prove themselves. You notice how they allow conversations to come to them. You notice how they rarely overreact. They conserve their energy. They conserve their words. And because they conserve these things, each moment they choose to act carries far more weight. Where others flood the room with noise, they introduce a single sentence. Where others scramble for recognition, they remain composed. Where others chase validation, they operate from quiet certainty, and slowly, almost invisibly, the hierarchy flips. The chasers become background noise. The commanders become the center of gravity, not because they demanded it, but because human nature quietly arranged itself around them. This is the law most people never learn. And the moment you begin applying it, the game you have been playing your entire life starts to change in ways that feel almost unreal. Because the world is full of people exhausting themselves, trying to be noticed, trying to be chosen, trying to be approved. But the rare individual who stops chasing entirely enters a different arena of influence. An arena where presence outweighs effort, where restraint outweighs noise, where gravity replaces pursuit. And once you begin to understand how to create that gravity, you realize something Machiavelli understood centuries ago. The most powerful position is not the one that runs after attention. It is the one attention cannot ignore. But the moment you begin to grasp this idea, another uncomfortable question appears. If chasing destroys attraction, why do so many people keep doing it? Why do intelligent, capable individuals sabotage their own influence the moment something important enters their life? Why does someone who seems confident suddenly become anxious when they want approval? Why does someone who commands a room lose all composure when they want a specific person's attention? The answer lies deep inside human psychology. Desire creates fear, and fear creates urgency. The moment you believe something is extremely important to your happiness, your mind begins treating it like survival. Your body reacts as if losing that opportunity would damage your life in some irreversible way. And once that urgency appears, your behavior changes. Your voice tightens. Your patience disappears. Your calm dissolves. You begin doing what most people do under pressure. You chase. You push. You reveal too much. You move too fast. You try to secure the outcome before the moment has naturally matured. But here is the cruel irony Machiavelli understood about power. Urgency destroys authority. The more urgently you need something, the less powerful you appear. Because authority is built on the perception of choice. Someone who appears to have options holds power. Someone who appears dependent loses it. This dynamic is subtle but brutal. Imagine two individuals negotiating. One of them desperately needs the deal. Their business depends on it. Their future depends on it. Their mind is racing with anxiety. The other person seems calm. They are interested but not desperate. They have alternatives. They could walk away if necessary. Even if both individuals are equally skilled, the one with emotional independence holds the advantage because their calm signals freedom and freedom signals value. Machiavelli saw this pattern in diplomacy constantly. Rulers who appeared too eager for alliances were often manipulated. Rulers who displayed restraint forced others to compete for their favor. This is not manipulation in the crude sense people imagine. It is simply how perception shapes power. Human beings instinctively value what appears selective. If something is easily available, our brain lowers its perceived worth. But if something feels rare, controlled, and deliberate, our attention sharpens. Scarcity creates gravity. This is why commanding individuals never rush to offer themselves completely. They reveal pieces of themselves slowly. Their attention is not automatic. Their interest is not guaranteed. And this creates a strange psychological effect. People begin investing more effort into gaining access. Think about the difference between someone who constantly seeks your approval and someone whose approval feels difficult to earn. The first person may be kind, generous, attentive, but after a while, their approval becomes predictable. It loses emotional weight. The second person may offer fewer compliments, fewer signals of validation. But when they do acknowledge you, it feels significant. Why? Because the brain attaches value to rarity. Machiavelli understood this principle in leadership. A ruler who hands out rewards constantly weakens their own authority, but a ruler who distributes recognition carefully makes every reward powerful. The same principle applies to attention. Attention is a currency, and like any currency, its value depends on scarcity. When you give it away endlessly, it becomes cheap. When you distribute it deliberately, it becomes magnetic. Most people unknowingly bankrupt themselves in this currency. They offer attention before it is earned. They respond instantly to every signal. They reveal their availability without limits. They chase conversations. They chase recognition. They chase reactions, and slowly the psychological balance tilts. They become predictable, accessible, safe, but rarely compelling. The commanding individual does something very different. They create music, a rhythm of presence and absence. They engage fully in moments that matter, but they do not linger in every moment. They step back. They disappear. Music. They allow space to exist between interactions, and that space does something powerful. It creates anticipation. Anticipation is one of the strongest emotional forces in human psychology. It pulls attention forward. It makes people wonder. It makes them replay previous interactions in their mind. But anticipation only exists when access is not constant. If someone is always present, music, there is nothing to anticipate. Machiavelli often advised rulers to manage music, their appearances carefully, not to vanish completely, but not to overexpose themselves either, because familiarity erodes mystique, and mystique is a subtle pillar of authority. This does not mean becoming cold or distant. It means becoming deliberate. Your presence becomes intentional rather than automatic. Your words become measured rather than excessive. Your reactions become thoughtful rather than impulsive. And something interesting begins to happen. People begin adjusting their behavior around you. They begin seeking your attention rather than assuming it. They begin listening more carefully when you speak. They begin noticing when you are absent, all because you stopped behaving like someone who needs constant recognition. Machiavelli believed rulers must guard their reputation like a fortress, because reputation becomes a shortcut in people's minds. Once people believe you possess authority, they begin interpreting your actions through that lens. Confidence becomes leadership. Silence becomes strategy. Restraint becomes wisdom. But if your reputation suggests insecurity, the same behaviors are interpreted differently. Confidence becomes arrogance. Silence becomes ignorance. Restraint becomes weakness. This is why the earliest moments of interaction matter so much. The signals you send in those moments establish the frame through which people interpret everything else. And the strongest signal you can send is emotional independence. Emotional independence means you are engaged, interested, present, but not attached to controlling the outcome. You are not trying to force the moment to give you something. You are simply participating with composure. This composure is incredibly rare because most people cannot tolerate uncertainty. They want reassurance immediately. They want clarity immediately. They want confirmation immediately. So they chase it. They ask too many questions. They push conversations toward conclusions. They try to eliminate the unknown. But commanding individuals understand something most people miss. Uncertainty is powerful. Uncertainty keeps attention alive. When everything is immediately explained, curiosity dies. When everything is immediately available, desire fades. But when something remains slightly unresolved, the mind stays engaged. Machiavelli knew that rulers who revealed all their intentions became easy to predict, and predictability invites challenge. But rulers who maintained a degree of ambiguity forced others to remain cautious. The same psychological mechanism operates in everyday influence. When people cannot fully map your intentions, they stay attentive, not because they fear you, but because their mind continues searching for understanding. And attention is the foundation of influence. Without attention, nothing else matters. You could have intelligence, charisma, talent, vision, but if no one is paying attention, those qualities remain invisible. Commanding individuals protect attention the way generals protect strategic ground. They do not flood it with noise. They use it precisely, a single well-timed statement, a carefully chosen pause, a moment of silence where everyone else expects words. These moments become memorable because they break the rhythm people expect. Most conversations, music are predictable. One person speaks, the other responds. Both rush to fill the gaps. But when someone interrupts that rhythm with calm stillness, the atmosphere shifts. People lean in. They wait. Their curiosity awakens. This is not theatrical. It is psychological. Humans are drawn toward anything that disrupts expectation, and commanding individuals understand how to create those disruptions naturally. They do not rush to respond. They allow thoughts to breathe. They speak when their words add weight rather than noise. And gradually their presence begins to feel different from everyone else in the room. Not louder, not more dramatic, just heavier, more deliberate, more grounded. This weight comes from inner stability,